Yes, they're back. Usual ritual of putting ice in a glass and then filling it up. It's better to do it now than when your opponent's down at the table. That's not the done thing.
I can remember you putting ice in when people were on the shot when you were playing.
That was just a fun game I once had in this theatre with Ray Reardon. There was nothing at stake.
Give frame 5, Joe Perry to break.
Funny how the name Reardon and stakes go together, don't they? Not a bad break off. Ali's safety to me hasn't been as good as he would like so far this evening. You've got to find that baulk cushion if you're going to force a mistake from your opponent. And there's another bad one. Caught the blue in the middle of the table. It's not good enough. And Joe Perry going down. I think I know who they're supporting, Willie.
Yes, obviously Ali Carter fans, and I'll be hoping their young man gets his potting boots on, because at the minute he's been kept off the table. Has to be said, he's quite fortunate to have got a frame on the board, because Joe Perry had 3 or 4 chances in frame 4, didn't take them.
There's a bird's eye view. Well, it was a dangerous pot, no guarantee of position. And even at this early stage, you just seem to get that feeling of a little bit of anxiety creeping in. I know it's 4 sessions, 3 sessions of 8, and then 1 of 9, making up the 33. But you're always looking for a good start, and if you don't get it, you can get anxious.
Joe's okay there, because he can get through to between 2 reds, which means you can still see the centre of the cue ball. That would have been tough if it had been actually right over the top of one of them.
9.
Doesn't look like he's got the right angle on the black to screw back and leave the red in the same pocket. So he may have to go on and off the cushion. Here you can see the angle is going to go on off the cushion and try and make something happen. It's hard to explain this, Joe. John, probably you can explain it better than I could. Joe's one of those players that doesn't seem to generate speed when he's going into a pack. Why would that be?
Well, he doesn't really get through the ball. He's a bit of a jabber, really, and I always feel with that type of shot that the cue ball's always going to swing a little bit wider of the mark. You know, we see a Ronnie O'Sullivan play it, and he just delivers the cue, and he doesn't stop at the cue ball, it goes right through it. And Joe's more of a puncher.
You say a lot of times on commentary is going into the pack with a dead white, and that was that situation there. The white never did anything when it hit them. And when you see players play screw shots, sometimes you see the white go twice into the bunts because they're getting through the cue ball so well. I suppose he's a little unlucky to finish with no shot at all.
No, well, he sorted out a plant here. There's a little gap between the two. There's no safety in the balk end. No, not a plant for me. He can't leave this on the balk cushion because of that red that's already there. So he feels by just leaving it in the near the middle pocket, you won't leave anything on. But if Ali can get past the brown, it's an easy safety shot off that red on the balk cushion.
Yeah, the cue ball would have only been good if it had been tight on the cushion. This is an easy safety shot for Ali now. Joe's usually very proficient in the safety department, and that wasn't one of his best. Well, you see, for me, Joe's been a bit fortunate there, but the shot he played previous to leave Ali in control of the safety was disappointing, and he forced the error there, Ali Carter, but as you can see, the opening red, he can only really get onto the pink by coming on and off the cushion. That's the first poor safety he's played for some time. Just needs to get his hand on the table nicely and make a sizable break. He hasn't made one yet. Yeah, even though Ali's got a frame on the board, his highest break is only just over 20. So you don't get confident until you can make a 50 or 60 break and get your cue arm going. And this is a good chance, really, to get a sizable lead in this frame. Not a frame with an opportunity where the balls are yet, but when the black goes on its spot, it shouldn't be too far away. You can see 40 or 50 coming here.
Now he's on this red to the right corner, the one closest to the cue ball, and he'd play it if he could just drop it in and play for the black in the same pocket. And then, as you say, Willie, well, he must be perfect. This will give him a chance to get the black on the spot. This is a good chance now.
.22.
He has a choice here. He can finish low on the black and play the cannon into the three reds, or he can play high on the black and get onto any one of the three reds that are below the black.
23.
So he's played high, but he's gone, perhaps, in fairness, a little bit too high. He may have to play the cannon onto the red that's farthest away from the black here and just push it along, and that can go wrong. That's really a very poor shot he played there, because he can't get the kiss on the middle red.
Well, in the end, he didn't play position on the black to play those, to get those three reds into open positions, but as you say, Willie, it just went wrong and it's worked out perfectly now. It was a good chance a few shots ago. It's a better one now.
It's amazing sometimes when you play a bad shot and you're forced into playing an aggressive shot, how it can turn out nicely for you. This is already his highest break of this match so far. He'd now like to make it one of frame winning proportion.
31.
This time in potting the black, just play a little cannon on the red just immediately below the black. And played it nicely. Okay, you feel as though sometimes by playing that you
38.
lose that red, you knock it a little bit closer to the cushion, so it makes it a little bit awkward, but these other reds to play for. The one below
39.
the pink is definitely on for the same pocket as he's potting the black.
This is a little bit more like the Alicata we've been watching all week, isn't it? Getting in, looking very fluent around the table. His confidence has obviously
46.
grown since he got that opening frame on the board in frame 4.
47.
Yes, he didn't win that frame in style, but just to get that frame on the scoreboard, it's amazing how it just settles you and you feel part of the match. So, well, you wouldn't want to play for one of these reds along the top cushion, but I think he's perfect on the black to play for one of them. When they're just off the cushion, you've got to be very accurate. But if you've got the right potting angle and you don't have to do
54.
a lot of work with a cue ball, that can just concentrate on the pot, makes it so much more easy.
$55.
We were both just about to say he's missed that.
I know. Caught the near jaw. Any more pace, and it wouldn't have gone in.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing, John, I don't think it would have gone in on the two-table situations. It just shows you how moving a table and putting a new cloth on again, it's made them a little bit easier off the near jaw. That would have been missed earlier on in the week.
Well, you get that when you get a new cloth on the cushions. You get a little bit of a slide. Unfortunately, it doesn't last for long. There you see it. 46 ahead.
63.
54 ahead. He'll need one more red. He's just checking the scoreboard at the moment. There's a possible 59 left on the table.
And in his first real scoring chance, he's already made the highest break of the match so far, eclipsing Joe Perry's 62 in the opening frame. But where does that one red come from now?
70.
Joe Perry still in this frame because I can't see him playing a pot here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Joe Perry sat there and he led 3-0. Okay, he's still got a glimmer of hope in this frame, but it looks as though his lead's going to be reduced to just one.
Alicata 70.
Just looking at the situation of the balls, even if Joe Perry did get a chance, it'd be a big ask to win the frame in one visit, so that'll take the pressure off Ali. And that's a pretty good safety shot. Left a chance of this pot, and Joe may take it on. He's in a position where you feel as though you've got to try and make things happen, and if he potted this, he would be on the black. Well, the pink's come to his rescue. I think Ali Carter was coming to the table thinking, well, he's missed the red, this is my chance to get frame ball. But there you see, the pink has saved Joe Perry for that one. There's this one down the side cushion, this for the frame. But it's not there. So there's a slim chance for Joe Perry here. As I say, he's got the red over the pocket, so close. Had to play it, it was frame ball, but disappointing.
Yes, I agree, he had to play it, and it made it a lot easier, the fact that those two reds were tight on the side cushion. Now he can play a cannon on one of those two reds now if he wants to. So that's the one that JV's putting up for us there. That's the one I think he'll play. Not played at any pace though, John. I'd have definitely been playing to bring that into play. Not saying it's the wrong shot, but
8.
Yeah, he's played to just get on the one red, but he'll roll it in. The black won't be easy because he'll be almost tight against the side cushion.
9.
well, where he'd left the cue ball, that was an excellent pot, and looking at the scoreboard, he's still 38 behind. Ideally, he'd like to get up
16.
for the black again, which makes it slightly easier to bring that red into play. From the blue's not too bad if you finish in between the yellow and the blue, the half ball pot to come on and off the cushion, but it's not a great angle to get it into play. But at least he's back in the frame now. Now, what kind of angle has he got on the blue? I think I'd be tempted to risk the double, John, wouldn't you? Because that would really hurt Ali Carter. If you can't kiss it out, leave the chance of a double.
Well, as you say, a lot depends on the angle. Well, he's got enough angle to play that. Ooh, just didn't catch it full enough. A little bit fuller, and he developed that red for the middle
22.
pocket. But as you say, Willie, he's right back in the frame and a good safety. This would be a steal, wouldn't it?
Joe Perry,
No, that
22.
wasn't a good shot. I know it's safe, but when you're that close to the cue ball, you're entitled to get that white ball behind the black.
This is a clever shot. He was in a little bit of trouble there. That's a good safety shot.
Yeah, he played it well. I just felt that Joe Perry should have put him in a little bit more difficulty than that. But well played, Ali. But he would be really hurt if he lost this frame. It's only now that you think that Joe Perry could win it. All the colours are in the open. If Joe Perry could force a mistake and pop this last red at some time. we'd have a new favourite, and that's an excellent shot. That is first class. That could swing it in his favour.
Yes, I like the way Joe came round and looked at the angle there to make sure it was on with the pink and black to avoid. The pink being off its spot made it okay. Ali's looking at cushion first, and because the white's so close, even though he can see the red, white's so close to the cushion, he could over-swerve this if he plays it from behind.
Oh yes, I don't think this is a certainty to get right in behind this red, which you need to do. No, I never fancied that. And he's lucky he's not left anything easier than this.
I think he can play it slowly though. He can play it into this pocket, and he's got both blue and pink he can cover with. He'd be unlucky to leave the red on if he played for choice of blue and pink in the same pocket as this red. But he's looking at the other pocket. I'm surprised if he doesn't play in the right hand corner, and he's not doing. So this red can be left on. Bound to be on blue, pink or black should he pot it. For me, he put all his eggs in one basket there. Played it the other way around, he could have got the choice of shot.
Well, so near and yet so far. If that red goes in, he'd have stole the frame. He never looked like winning. But not now. Ali Carter just needs the red.
Seven. 9.
This will be a very relieved Ali Carter here. Because this is
12.
a frame that nearly got away.
16.
We were saying that what would really settle you down is winning a frame comfortably, and with a frame winning visit,
21.
it looked as though he'd done that. Anyway, eventually he got over the line, but it was a mistake by Joe Perry and not his play. But he'll be happy. Lost the first 3, won the next 2.
It's the only thing that worries me about Ali Carter, John, at the moment. He's not doing it on his own, is he? He's having a little bit of help from Joe Perry in the last couple of frames. Joe Perry looked very, very sharp in the opening 3. I think sometimes when you get off to such a great start, you sometimes try and protect your lead rather than keep playing.
Yeah, I honestly think, though, we've seen 5 frames of these 8 frames in this first session, that it's a big, big stage for these 2 young men. It's the biggest match of their snooker career, and I just don't think either of them settled. You know, you can't win the match in the first session, but, you know, if you lose it badly, then you face an uphill task. And I think at the moment they're just going through the motions, trying not to make a mistake, and then all of a sudden trying to make something happen. There's no balance to the game at the moment. And I think they're just trying to get used to the surroundings and the enormity of the occasion.
Thank you. Frame 6. Ali Carter to break.
Well, even though Joe Perry's 3-2 in front, in some ways Ali Carter will be feeling the better of the 2 at the moment, because all of a sudden he's got himself back in the match. He's on the up. Joe Perry needs to now try and gain control again, and he had half a chance in the last frame to pinch it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think if it was a boxing match and we're marking it on points, I think we'd give every round to Joe Perry at the moment, wouldn't we? But the frame score says there's only 1 in it.
And that's Joe's first real poor safety shot. And Ali Carter, as we know, when he gets his potting boots on, he does knock these in very well. And there's the reason you can't afford to play bad safety shots against this young man when he gets his iron. One of the best potters in the game. And as we've already seen this week, not too bad in the scoring department.
Well, he played a fuller cannon, and because he didn't get it, he slipped out of position. You see the red he was playing for in this corner pocket, he just can't get to it. Just was looking for a fuller contact. Maybe push that red towards the left corner and still be on the one to the right corner. This is a thinnish cut. Too thin, much too thin. Okay, you might not have left anything, but when you're in around the black and you only get 8 points, you feel you've missed out.
Good shot from Joe, just to contain that. He knew that he would not gain any advantage with that safety. But as he was snookered, he knows he's got a possibility of playing a better safety shot at his next visit. Well, he did have a look at that, but as you can see by the cue ball, he probably felt that it was definitely worth taking on at pace, and his table, to me, appears a little slower than the ones yesterday, because as that cue ball was rolling in and out of balk, as you see the plant disappear, I honestly thought that cue ball was come well out of the balk. It hasn't, so he's just tickling him behind the brown. A lot of players would risk the cut on the brown.
Joe Perry 1.
A bad mistake, misjudged. Have a look at the angle he's got on this thread. It's virtually straight, and you'd like to get top side of the blue, but that's why he's had to play a run on and off the cushion. I don't quite think he's got there. It just shows you that we talk about fractions. You see the frustration in Joe's face there. Just couldn't quite get top side of the blue.
Yeah, but he could have done. He could have played it with a trace, and of course, well, as you see, dead straight. But if he'd have played it with a trace on the left-hand side, then he'd have made certain he was on the blue. But You know, sometimes playing a bit of side and you feel as though you could miss the pot. Played it plain ball. I suppose you could say got what he deserved. Okay, he may have put a trace on. He needed a bit more. He needed to be certain he was going to get the angle on the blue. But it's easier said than done. There's a lot of pressure out there, even at this early stage.
Drop Harry 1.
Well, that's a clever shot. Purposely played the double kiss off the red. Well thought out. Well, believe it or not, he went for the pot. And if he's got away with that, he's been very, very fortunate. Well, from a very bright start, he's starting to struggle a bit now, Will.
Yes, I think he'd have been frustrated at the interval, knowing that he's missed a chance to go 4-0 in front. Half a chance to go to win the first frame after the interval, so he'd be sitting there thinking, well, I could be 5-0, and all of a sudden now it's 3-2, and you do get edgy, and so many things can go through your mind, and the key thing, which unfortunately I wasn't able to do, is put aside in your mind what has gone before. Joe seems to be just, you can see his demeanour has changed somewhat in the last half an hour of this match. But he had a result of results to get away with it, didn't he?
Absolutely. Once he'd careered into the reds, he was in time to leave Ali something. I don't know who was looking up in the gallery there, but he was thinking, how unlucky was I? But that's the nature of any ball game. One of the balls sometimes, but these best of 33s, you hope they're going to even out.
Touching ball.
Oh, well, that's a bonus for Ali. Touching ball. He may be able to find a path for the cue. Well, he can certainly find a path for the cue ball back to the baulk end and put a little bit of pressure on his opponent's safety.
Yes, at first glance, not great, but he can play in between the blue and the red off 2 cushions, but with the green being off its spot, he's not got a hiding ball.
He didn't fancy it, did he? There was a path back to baulk, but he didn't fancy it. Seems to have left an easy path back to baulk for his opponent, though. So, just to contain his safety, but leaving himself open here for the counter punch.
And this is the point that John was making. You're putting yourself in trouble by playing the negative safety. Ali Carter's now faced with a tough one. Got to be careful of the double kiss here if he's playing the up and down safety. There's the double kiss. There it was.
One.
It's not a bad chance, this. The black spot is in the open, so if he ever gets down to the black, he can get it on its spot and it'll stay at this end of the table. He's okay on the brown. Probably play for the red in the middle of the table, you would have thought. Well, he's seen one that goes just below the pink into the right corner.
5.
The blue's in a potable position. It's a good chance, this.
Six.
Yes, turned out to be the ideal red to get on, because now pink is in play as well, and he'll be disappointed if he doesn't score enough to win the frame at this visit now. It's just that one shot, as John mentioned. There's plenty of room to get onto the black, but how does he get the black in play at the moment? It's not a chance for a few shots to get onto the black, so he'll have to work around the pink and blue for 3 or 4 reds maybe, and then the black should slowly but surely come into an open position.
Thirteen. Eighteen. 19. 24. 25.
I think he's just got past the straight on the blue, which means he can get virtually anywhere he wants from this blue. And you can see how difficult it is at the minute with the black being in the position it is. It's just hard to get onto a red to get onto the black. There's the angle he's got, so he can go on and off the cushion.
Yeah, you think anywhere in that circle may give him a choice of 3 reds. There's also the option of the red just below the pink, but as I say, near the circle, choice of 3 reds. Oh, well, he didn't play that well, did he? He's played a stun run through there and never got through the ball.
30.
I'm just wondering whether it could have turned out in his favour, John. I know it's a bad shot, but if he gets his shot with the rest right and kisses into the red to the left, he's on choice of pink or black. So once again, a bad shot can sometimes create the opening that's not really there before it.
It's worrying, though. It was a little snatch, that, wasn't it, the blue?
And there it is, you see. There's no way he could have got onto the black there, because he wouldn't have played for the red like that to get on the black. He's got there by accident and could have now given him a chance to win the frame at one visit.
38. $39. $45.
Now getting down to the
46.
nitty-gritty, I think the two reds above the black will pot in the right-hand corner, so he'll be very disappointed now not to win the frame. He's 40 in front. Pink 46, so two more reds and colours, and he's got the two-frame gap again.
$52. $53.
I'm pretty sure that both these reds will pot into the right-hand corner. Well, maybe not, just the top one. So Joe, sometimes, well, I'm just looking, how does he avoid the kiss on the red? Plain ball, just got the miss, so he's okay. Only the top red pots, the applause shows you that the frame is
60.
over. And now we can concentrate on getting the first century in this first semi-final at the World Championship.
61.
And that's always going to be a milestone.
$68. $69.
We can have a good look at whether
76.
this clings to the cushion here when he plays this slowly. Yeah, never moved at all, did it?
77.
Never moved a fraction. Good shot.
Now this will be a test of his cue power if he's straight on the black.
$84.
Good shot he'll need here on the yellow to get good position on the green.
Well, he missed the yellow by a long way, but that's what he had to do. Has it gone in yet? No, it hasn't. That's what he needed to do, get a bit of confidence back by winning a frame at one visit. He did that. The break of 84, the highest break of the match so far. Takes him two clear again at 4-2.
Two more frames to be played in this first session of a possible 33. Well, that was close. Always knew he was going round the back of the black and the red and returning to the balk end, but it'd have been nice if it had gone in. Couldn't have been any closer.
Well, he's tempted with the pot, but there's no way in the world he can get the cue ball back in the ball. So if he plays the pot, he's going to have to hope, if he kisses into reds, he can get onto a colour. You see, the angle he's got there, he can't cue with check side, he's too near the cushion. So he's going to have to hope he gets a good kiss here.
And that he gets the pot. This is dangerous. Well, it's a good pot, but... Well, he's got two, I think. Yes, one went in the right middle, so two. But no colour.
That's been a help really, John, isn't it? That red's gone in the middle, because if it say stuck over the middle, playing safe in the ball carrier, not only did he have to cover the one on the left, he'd have had to cover one in the middle, so it's done him a favour, that. But good pot.
Yellow ball.
Sometimes you have to do things like that when you've got no option. It was an excellent pot. And with that kick, unfortunately for him, not an excellent safety.
Ali Khat 2.
The kick made the angle come off and kiss the brown. It wouldn't have kissed the brown without the kick.
That was a terrific red, and as we saw, one went in the middle, and then he got the heavy contact with his safety, and he wasn't happy. And the reason being, he's left his red on. Oh, that's a nice flick, and he's come absolutely... Well, I thought he was going to say inch perfect on the blue, but he just stopped. But he's not bad. He's got a red in the open on the left-hand side of the table. Doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball. This is how frustrating you can be with this game, and that's all because he got the heavy contacts on the yellow. But for that, he felt he'd have left Joe Perry in a lot of trouble. Joe Perry there cleverly deciding to hold the blue spot, and the blue now will go in the highest available, which is the black spot.
6.
So when he pots this red, he can play for the blue again.
7.
That's a clever little shot. Bringing the red into play as well, to mean that he's got the angle now. Ideally would love to get the black on the spot, but the pink's available in the middle, and that may then go on the black spot, so that shot could have turned out
13.
perfect for Joe Perry. If the pink spot's covered, he's still in control of this. Yeah, there's obviously no way the pink have gone its own spot.
$19.
If he can pot another 2 or 3 reds without moving that red off the pink spot, the reason I'm saying that is because
20.
if he pots the red on the pink spot, the pink will then be tied up. And with the black out of commission, he won't win the frame at one visit. I think I'd almost risk playing a cannon here, but he's going to play for the loose red. That could be a downfall. Let's just see what happens in a couple of shots.
$26. 27.
Well, he's played for this red that
32.
we feel is occupying the pink spot. So it's imperative off this red he gets a good angle on blue or pink to try and cannon into the cluster. He's choosing the blue.
33.
And got the perfect angle. Doesn't have to go into these too hard. Just a nice pace. There's only 5 balls in the cluster, so doesn't have to Be unlucky not to be on one. And that looks absolutely inch perfect to me.
38. 39. 45.
Well, Joe seems to have found a bit of form again, doesn't he? He'd been kept off the table for a little while, and suddenly 84 in the last frame, and
46.
he's in a position where he can win the frame at this visit in this. Overscrewed that slightly though, a little bit to do with the cue ball. Wouldn't be beyond the realms to play a little cannon on the red on the pink spot here, just to slow the white down. That's the one, that's very well played.
Yes, and it doesn't look as though Ali Carter is going to get back to the
51.
table, and he will be absolutely seething underneath. He went for a
52.
very dangerous red and got it. Didn't finish on a colour. And then he had a straightforward safety where he felt as though he'd put Joe Perry in trouble. This was it. He's just
58.
trying to get behind the brown or the green or the black. The heavy contact mean the cue ball went over, kissed the brown, left the red on, and this is the result. It's a cruel game.
$65. 66.
84 break in the last frame.
72.
And carried it on in this. 70 points in front, only 43 left. He's not too bothered about that. Ali Carter won't come to the table. Yes, he can see it. So Ali Carter, now having the best run of the balls, Joe Perry extends his lead. There's one frame to go, and he leads 5-2. Well, with it, Ali Carter, you feel he'd want to win this last frame of the session just to feel he's got something out of it.
Yeah, it has to be said, he certainly deserved to be behind in this match so far. Okay, he might feel frustrated, as you rightly said on commentary there, that he had a horrible kick on the safety shot when he kissed into the brown, and who knows, that 72 break could have been his if it, with a good safety. But you know, I think he's definitely not settled as yet. Here it is again. He's just playing the run through, and he couldn't kiss the brown by chance. When the white's going down, it's kissing the yellow, you know, at a nice angle, and because of the bounce, he's just threw it straight to the right.
And here's Hawkeye giving you an option of what he could have done.
That would have been a good shot at that distance. He played a slow stun to avoid the kiss on the yellow, but we'll forgive Hawkeye for once.
This Hawkeye's a hell of a player.
Last frame of this session, as my colleague JV mentioned, Ali Carter, if he can get out 5-3, will be delighted. Joe Perry will feel that 6-2 would maybe be a fairer sort of scoreline. not been impressed with the safety in this match from both players. I think that's the third or fourth time we've seen the blue being contacted with a safety exchange. Joe Perry usually very proficient in the safety department, and that's why he's such a hard player to beat. Tonight he's 5-2 in front, and his safety has not quite been up to scratch.
One.
Well, he didn't control the cue ball very well. He may just have a slight angle on the blue to force the cue ball back to this end of the table. No, just about. Have to be digging in there with a little bit of right hand side. Would have liked to have got into it a little bit more, but I think well, I don't know, he's walking round, so he's not on the red he played on. See players do that, just walk round, that's their way of just counting to 10. It's just a safety.
There's nothing more frustrating than that, John, and when you've got a target of 3 or 4 feet you can finish in, and you finish short, he's entitled to be disappointed.
I've just felt tonight that he's desperate to get his hand on the table and start scoring, and it's just not happened, and sometimes the balls run that way. I'll be a little bit more patient, I think. And I think that's what you were alluding to early on when you said Joe Perry you felt was the better match player. I think Joe Perry can be a little bit more patient than Ali.
Yeah, I think Joe's definitely probably knows his way around the table a little bit better than Ali. I think Ali's probably the better cueist and would make something out of nothing a little bit easier than Joe. But it's a hard match to call. They made Ali Carter favourite. I thought it was even as easy too. I couldn't pick a winner. I was very impressed with Joe Perry's match play against Steve Maguire. The only thing I was worried about is that he should have won the match a lot easier than he did, because he lost 6 frames from 50 in front.
Yeah, I thought it was hard to call. I just felt that Ali Carter, after that magnificent maximum break, would have come here on a real high. And maybe he needs to settle into this match and doesn't have to prove anything to anybody now. He's in the semi-final, he's got a maximum break to his name. Just relax and let it happen.
Another good bit of ball run from Joe there, to hold his hand up to say sorry. Sometimes that winds you up, doesn't it, when the player keeps holding your hand up? You think, oh yeah, you're really pleased and I'm really angry. Why hold your hand up in the first place?
I think the worst one is when they roll their hand up and clear up. Sorry, I fluked that, and then you don't get another shot.
It's tough to get safe off this red with it being tight on the cushion. You may just have to leave the white right in the jaws of this pocket, almost as if you're going to play the in-off at billiards. I thought for one moment he nearly got the double kiss. That would have been disaster.
Well, it looks as though he can just get past the black and cut this red back to the left corner. It's a thin one. He's played it too thin. Well, that is another little bit of a good fortune. But this red's on. I thought for one moment, certain Ali did from his position where he's sitting, that the brown may have covered this red, but he can just get through to it. Can't do a lot with the cue ball because he's tight on the baulk cushion, but the important thing is pot the red.
Great pot that under pressure. It took Ali an eternity to come out of his seat because, like you mentioned, John, I think he thought he was going to be snookered, but tight on the cushion, 5-2 behind, played that well. Pink pots, blue pots, 4 or 5 loose reds. There's a half a chance he could get out of this session 5-3, and that would be a bonus.
Well, he's not got the angle on this red to the right corner to play for the black. I don't think the pink now is available. So he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. Not a lot, but because the blue doesn't go to the left middle, it appears. Just got to adjust the line and length of this positional shot correctly. And couldn't have played it better.
8.
Good shot.
$13. $14.
That's come off the cushion a little bit squarer than he thought. He played to be
90.
dead straight on this red. And when he removes this red, you can see the little cluster of reds are not in an ideal position. So it's one of those, if he does play low on the black, he's going to have to hit one of these
20.
half ball. Any full ball contact, he can only hope to be on one in the middle pocket. And I think he's just bounced too high to make it a guaranteed. There's the angle. If he went in the pack here, it would be very difficult to get on one. He'd probably play for the loose one. It wasn't a great pack as he opened them. Did pretty well to get the white in open play.
27.
Yeah, and fair play to him. He played with a lot of left-hand side there, so when he did come back to the cushion, he was going back up the table with the side, and sometimes a lot of players are not too keen to play that with side. And he's got a red to the left corner, and he deserves it.
A nicer angle this time, and if he wants to win the frame at one visit, he may decide to flick into them again. The middle of the 3 at the back of the pack, the middle one, that would push reds on both middle pockets. Seems to be queuing a little bit lower than I thought, but that's probably the red he's going to try and hit. Yeah, hit them. That's the problem when you play a screw, that the white springs off them. When you see O'Sullivan play that
35.
shot, he just played that shot, but he did stunned up into those, so when the white were hit, it would have gone through them. There you see screwing back. Just lost position slightly.
Yeah, it's one of those situations now, and he's opened the reds up. Just one good pot and positional shot, and the frame's at his mercy. If you miss the red, they're there for your opponent. But in it goes. In it goes. He's controlled the cue ball nicely. He should win the frame now.
Yeah, he's just lost the white just a little bit, so once again may have to play the cannon on the way on the red just below the pink spot, that is, just to hold the cue ball. He'd be very unlucky if he does play the cannon. He doesn't finish on at least 3 reds. Well, he concentrated so much on the kiss. What on earth is he doing there? It's so easy to play the cannon on the reds below the pink spot, and he tried to play a cannon on a red that, well, there was no need for that one.
1.
Wouldn't be a nice night's sleep, John, would it, if Joe Perry cleared up from here?
It wouldn't. He'd done everything right. But it shows you how it can happen. I was in the commentary box here, looking down at the table. I saw him get the perfect cannon, and even I didn't bother looking at the blue. I just took the blue as a formality. It was going to go in. And unfortunately,
9.
that's why he missed it. He thought it was a formality. And nothing ever is at this game.
$15. $16.
Anything but straight on yellow and green. Can get him right up to the business end of the table. He's perfect on the yellow. This is one of those situations where you play for choice of red. You just on and off the cushion. In between pink and blue spot, you've got choice of all sorts of reds. As long as you don't hit it 100 miles an hour, it needs it to pull up. It has pulled up. I think this table's definitely slower than when we're on a two-table situation.
$19.
Yes, new cloth again on this table. That's twice now we've had new cloths. Perfect playing conditions.
25.
But they do vary. Oh, it's wide. It's wide.
Joe Perry, 25.
I just get the feeling, Willie, if it's this tense in the first session, what's it going to be like if it stays this close in the final session? Both players are just feeling it out there at the moment. As I say, big match for both of them. And the occasion just at the moment, just getting the better of both of them.
He was able to play that as a shot to nothing with the green being where it was. He knew he could get a good white because it wasn't a 10 out of 10 red, that. So 18 points in front. That red could have been missed. He needs this green and the two loose reds with sizable colours, preferably the black. And it would mean that he can win the frame without worrying about the difficult red.
4.
21 points the lead. These two reds, two blacks. We'll put him 37 ahead with only 35 remaining. And it shouldn't be a problem now. In fact, after this black, red and the pink will do to get to the snooker's required stage.
You'd normally go to your hotel room this evening having lost a session 5-3 and be very disappointed.
13.
I think Ali will be delighted. He hasn't really played anything like we know he can, and somehow he's only lost by 2 frames. It could have been 4 quite easily.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, though, Will. He'd be disappointed with the way he's
19.
played. I think you're looking for a good performance, and he hasn't produced one.
So Ali Carter's highest break in this
Carter
frame has
19.
only been 36, but I'm sure it'll be enough to go 2 frames behind after the first session at 5-3. Got to be a little bit careful here, of course, Joe. Ali, because he's only 36 in front, and Joe Perry knows his way around when it comes to snookers. We saw Stephen Hendry win a frame early on in the tournament, needing 2 snookers. The yellow's in a good place for snookers. The black's now in a good place for snookers. But Ali's played an excellent safety shot there. Excellent shot.
Well, that was a nice controlled hit. But here's the chance for Ali to put this frame to bed by potting this last red.
Not a great chance. He may take the risk getting him behind the yellow, but this is not easy. He has took the risk. It wasn't easy to get him behind that yellow from there, and didn't want to push it on the cushion, which he has. So that yellow now is not a good option for snookers. It was a few moments ago. Ali's second chance at a long red at distance to seal the frame. Well, that's a lot better for Carter. We know now the result overnight is going to be 5-3 to Perry, and Ali Carter, I honestly think, will be more pleased than Joe Perry. Obviously, you'd like to take a lead into the finals at any session, but Ali Carter's just been hanging on by his fingertips today. Joe Perry already has his waistcoat undone. Joe Perry, the better player this evening. He goes into the second session against Ali Carter from Essex, leading by 5 frames to 3. Still all to play for. Well, that's the end of play for this evening, ladies and gents. 10 o'clock in the morning. Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan. One not to be missed on Interactive.